Recently, I sent out my newsletter and I talked about one of my videos where I spoke to failure and how failure is feedback. And if you can make that mindset shift in business, then you won't personalize things that go wrong as much. And hopefully that leads you to a little more success and you are a little more curious and open to what the possibilities could be moving forward. And I also spoke about some changes that I'm going to be making on this YouTube channel, as my podcast on this YouTube channel is 2 months old. Instead of continuing through, I wanted to do a check-in to make sure that I was feeling aligned and confident and inspired to continue with the podcast in the longer term. Unfortunately, my soul and intuition told me that this was not the correct format and that these one-to-one talking head videos that are not scripted and that are just free flow are a little more aligned with where I need to go. So instead of pushing through something that doesn't feel aligned just because I said I would start this thing and just for the sake of consistency, I'm going to make a shift before I get too far down the road and ending up having to make a bigger shift. So moving forward in the month of July, I'm going to play around with putting out videos that are personal musing videos as it relates to my own soul-led business journey, and card reading videos where I can help soul-led business owners build with confidence and ease. That to me feels really aligned. It feels natural. So I'm going to follow that for the next couple of months and see where that goes. Now, of course, there's a little gremlin at the back of my mind saying that you haven't done enough to fully realize what this podcast could be. And I reflected on this rather than react to it. And I came to this idea that even if this podcast were to blow up, let's say, and I could gain new followers and start new conversations, that would be wonderful. However, if it is not aligned, then is that really something I want to be engaged in and something that I want to continue following? The success is there, but the alignment is not. And this is actually what happened in my own business, which is why I'm making this huge pivot and transition right now. Because at the very beginning of my business, I started with products that I saw other designers and illustrators selling. I followed the rule book as to how to sell online. I got into wholesale, and I kept following the path that was already laid out. But my soul very early on was telling me this isn't it. I ignored that call. I did not step back because I was seeing success with what I was doing. So it's kind of like, take a back seat. I'm doing good. I don't need you. And here we are in 2025, and I am making a huge business shift to align with what my soul and my intuition want to follow. And it's a little more soul-led, it's a little more inspirational, and I feel that it's going to be more impactful and helpful to other soul-led businesses. So instead of selling products that don't really have any, I wouldn't say meaning for me, but emotional attachment for me, I'm actually doing something that does have meaning, where I'm working with soul-led business owners to help them build, to help them create visuals, to express their true essence. And that to me is exciting. That to me is inspirational. Had I listened to that at the outset of my business, I might be in a very different place. So that was a lesson that I took away from that experience and am now applying to my YouTube channel. Now, I'm not here to gain 1 million followers, and it's not to become some huge influencer. It is simply to share my experiences, my insights, and my inspirations from my own journey so that I can inspire and help others on a similar journey. And hopefully that means that you don't make the same mistakes that I did, and you can follow your calling with a little more ease and confidence. So if I only reach a small portion of people, cool, I've done my job. That is definitely also a shift that I'm seeing from when I first started my business to now. And I don't see success in the same way. I also don't see failure in the same way. So those mindset shifts are really helping me stay aligned to a path that's truly mine. And also to trust myself. Trusting myself was a huge piece of that puzzle in being able to trust my instincts, trust my intuition, and to follow that path with confidence. Now, again, there's a perception of I don't want to look scatterbrained. I don't want to look like I start and stop things. But because we're in the early stages, or at least I'm in the early stages of my business transition, I am allowing myself to start and stop because that is key and imperative to figuring out what's going to work. And because there's no rule book for this particular path, because it is unique to me, I have to be open and give myself permission to start and stop, to trial and error, to succeed and fail over and over and over until I figure out where I'm being led. So trusting the process and trusting in yourself, making changes early are super important, and to not see any of this as failure, but feedback towards what success is going to look like for you. So this is my morning musing, my mindful moments. I hope you enjoyed. If you are interested in signing up to my newsletter, you'll get similar content to this and more. The link is in the description box. Until next time, my friend, stay curious, and we'll see you soon.